I must say I'm extraordinarily excited to be here today. I mean, to see all these new ideas, these new entrepreneurs trying to do something, to bring a positive change about, is something I am particularly pleased to be able to witness. I spent the last 40 years of my life trying to defend the environment. I've been active with a number of NGOs, active in protection of species and active in protections of environments, of protected areas. Think swamps, think mosquitoes, think tigers, think panda, that sort of thing. And after this time spent into the non-profit sector, I realized more and more that the cause for the environmental degradation, the overconsumption of natural resources, and the difficulties in keeping together a working environment has something to do with the way we have decided to create values. We need to make money. We need to have money to spend in order to help society to develop. We need humanity to develop. How do we devise something which will allow us to create this growth without destroying the planet? So I come at this whole agenda from the natural history side, and I realize that the paradigm of growth, the profit as the only engine of measurement of performance, has led to a dysfunctional society. Our society is fractured, and our environment is in danger. As we heard before, we don't really want to spend too much time talking about the problem, but more about the solution. And if this sounds like a political message, it isn't. It's just pure pragmatism. I'm here to tell you that if we need to do something, and we do need to do something to change the planet, it will have to be done by business. Business as a force for good is something I am deeply convinced about. We can create growth models which are not going to destroy the planet if we just get rid of this notion of profit as the only way to measure success. We need to speak about environmental return. We need to speak about social consequences of business. And to do this, we need to have managers, we need a new generation of leaders who will understand this. Where better to go to find this sort of leaders than in a business school? So we have now started at INSEAD, which I'm sure is a name familiar to all of you, a program which we call the Global Institute for Business and Society, where we will investigate ways of changing the norms of teaching business education so that business could become that force for good I just described. Katell, my co-conspirator in the issue, will tell you a bit more about how we intend to do this. And I'm very grateful to Katell to have found the time to come to be here tonight. That's all I wanted to say for the time being. Thank you very much.
Thanks, André. So I'm going to stand too, even though I'm not very comfortable standing there in front of all of you, to just say that I'm joining INSEAD to lead that institute from UNICEF. And I wanted to mention that because I think it's very important to change environment if we really want to create change, because we bring different perspectives. And which, even though it's very uncomfortable, I think that it's this different perspective that we need to bring together if we want to find new solutions. And so I would encourage everybody of moving from profit to non-profit and back and forth so that the dialogues also between these different organizations leads to different ways of functioning. The idea with this institute at INSEAD is to do exactly the same thing. It's to look at how research on the role of business is being conducted so that it integrates more the impact it has on society and the environment. How is the teaching conducted so that everybody who comes through the school leaves the school inspired and equipped to try and bring these different values together in the organization that they will lead? How do we engage outside of the school to bring these ideas and this learning into the real world? We are the proud academic partner of the ChangeNOW conference. The two co-founders and co-leaders, like André, are INSEAD alumni. So these people come out of the school. We just want to make sure there are more of them. And finally, through that institute, we also want to make sure that the school itself walk the talk through the way it procures its operations, to the way it's endowed, its finances endowment, to the way it interacts with the local community in which it's embedded. So it's pretty ambitious. We're lucky to have founders to back us, to have a leadership in the school that believes in turning that vision into reality. And we are excited to be here with you, to be part of that movement of change now.
So how exciting is that? Business is going to come and step up to change the world again. Not to change it in a negative way as it has in the past, but to repair some of the damages done. I'd like to just summarize by the United Nations Development Goals. The 2000 goals were helped business to create sufficient value to lift more than 1 billion people out of poverty, demonstrating the efficacy of the capitalistic model. But we now need a change of speed. We need a different way to deal with the same issue. And the Sustainable Development Goals, which have just been accepted by the United Nations, are a good guide for that. So we intend to teach business to step up to the problem and to make a difference. Business as a force for good. Thank you very much.